Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show with VSA 360. This is Martin Wong, your host. Now let's get on to our business this morning in here. As we have seen last night, the Dow really managed to hold up. As I said before, in this morning podcast, which I did update on the Telegram chat room, so make sure you check it out in there. This is also partly of the likelihood of a lower 25 basis interest rate hike rather than the 50 interest rate hike or 75 basis hike, which they were expecting. So that means this market is holding up, and maybe we get some sort of a sideways market moving from here. But what is also happening right now, we are seeing the KLCI likely to rebound, as we already have many bars. Do you know how many bars has been down lately? Almost 9 bars. That's something we have never seen for a while, and it does look like rebound is coming soon. As I said before, we got 2 weeks of another negative down market, or pretty much defined by the red pentagon or the yellow trend zone, and then likelihood we will see the green pentagon. But let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. This morning the discussion is all about why we have seen these markets flowing out. It's because foreign funds is started to turn outflow, right, which is the negative outflow, and it's heading lower, but we would see some sort of reprisal soon in here. The market rebounded, but stage 4 has already started as soon as the red pentagon comes in. Those of you who are falling in here, but don't be overly bearish. As I said before, anytime when the market go down, there is always a rebound, and usually where people are caught the most unsuspected one, that's where we see a market rebound. We must always pay attention when market's down. This is where you want to be buying in here. I know it's difficult to be buying, and that's why it's important that you all understand where is likelihood the market is heading, and more of this right now with the green pentagon. And of course the VSA 360 were able to analyze it, and those of you who were with us last Friday, we talked about the insider buying and selling. We'll also be looking at some of those stocks were the insider buying, and many of those stocks we've seen insider buying, it actually rebounds. So that's also one way to look at VSA volume spread analysis in here. If you want to try VSA 360, join our program and sign up for a 10-day free trial. More information will be available at the back there. You are not going to regret it in here. All right, the VSA 360, a complete way of analyzing stocks that you never see before, with stock screener, intraday alert, right, comparison, a lot of fundamental in here, and also smart Robie rating. Right now, some of the new features with powerful insider buy sell guide, which I will also demonstrate to you here. Now let's take a look at the VSA 360 this morning and see where we are right now. So you can see from here, everything is still red pentagon. You notice, right? The Dow Jones was up 300 points. Hang Seng is up, I think, another 100 points, 13 points, and Malaysia is just still holding. Why is that, right? If you look from here, this is the likelihood reason. Let me just open up for you here, and you can see this is where we are, and foreign funds, been 1, 2, 3. There was a big outflow, 179 million in here, and that what really plummet in here. But I do think the selling has been overdone. As I said before, we had almost 9 down bars, something we don't see that often in here. I was thinking that foreign funds would come in and really load this up and eventually buying, but it's not. You can see it broke through the 1460, and this chart really gives you the best representation of foreign fund flows with regards to the KLCI, and the blue line that you see is the KLCI. You can see it broke through the 1460, and that's why I was adamant on that support at 1460, but it could not hold, and that market eventually does break. All right, we got connection right now. There was a bad connection just now there, and we just have to wait for the market to be coming back. All right, we are back now. Right now, apologize for that one. So you can see here the KLCI, what we have the 3 so-called alert. We got Marsing turning green, Pentagon, Time.com green, but respective of the US market, many, or even Green Tech has turned green Pentagon, and that's pretty positive. And that's one of the stocks I was actually looking to buy it. Actually, you can see here, and more importantly, we want to check whether there is foreign funds coming in to look at this right now in here. So we just wait for, yes, you can see here, call to buy at 670. 635 call to hold. So that is also why this market is moving up, because of the call by analysts to buy. So this is something that you don't want to miss out it. When you have this, then you can certainly understand why some of the reasons this market can, some of these stocks can go in. And that's usually how we want to check out some of the area here. And those green Pentagon, and you have another one, Axiata. No, this is the REITs. AX REITs. Okay, so when you see this Axiom REITs, usually this is a lot got to do with the commercial, right? Real property investment. So for those of you who like dividend, you can see this pays about 6.9 dividend, and that's usually, it's pretty good, right? Don't you think so? Right, giving it a nice dividend here. And yes, there were a lot of selling. EPF was selling at this junction in here. There was a call to buy in here. So sometimes I don't understand why are they trading this stock. As the market going higher, there were a lot of selling here. So maybe you should take notice of this selling intensity that you have. But foreign funds maybe buying this or maybe selling this. Do I see any selling? So lots of EPF selling. So check it out in here. Maybe this is something that EPF shouldn't be selling, because it does pay a 6.9%, a 5% dividend with the ROE of perhaps 9 times here. All right. So Maxis is turn rate, UWC. So that is also showing you a lot of the technology stocks starting to turn green Pentagon. So maybe that's something is going to be in the background in here. And that's how usually I look at the things in here. Now let's get on to our dashboard. We will also look at all the sectors. Construction has dropped off, and you can see technology, where is technology? Technology, telemedia, finance, healthcare, technology. Yep, it's turning slightly positive. That is previously the case. This was the technology was down. It actually turned up. You see in here, it hasn't turned to be more stronger, which is the so-called greenish shine just above the KLCI composite in here. This is all the bearish. This is all the slightly bullish in one here. So let's take a look at the KLCI sectors. You can see technology has been down almost 23 days, right? This is one of the worst performer other than industrial products. So maybe we are seeing technology starting to turn back up. It's still pretty much here. Let's see. But it does show you how the market will likely to turn. And plantation is still pretty good. Green Pentagon, but sort of had dropped off in here. Majority of the stocks has actually turned from green right now to red. Of course, we all seen the KLC high has actually moved further down, and many of these usually do follow. And that's why we always say only want to buy when KLCI is turning strong, or at least look at the KLCI sector. When it is stronger, then you have some sort of trade to buy. If not, there's not much of a visibility that you get in this market that you see here. So this morning there is suddenly a new stock called CDB, which is Celcom Axiata, right? So we will probably make some adjustment in here. Right now the KLCI for pretty much for this year, you can see it is still down -2%, -3% in here, whereas the rest of the region, many of them had done pretty well from what we have seen in here so far, right? So this is the condition that we have, and much of it's really not in the very positive. All regional markets are red Pentagon. All right, so you can actually still wait for it. My watch list I haven't been updating because I've been using the smart Robie watch list more recently for that one here. Okay. So that is the market status that we have right now. The KLCI right now has broken below the 1460 in here, and it's been down for 9 days. So we are looking for a rebound soon. And a rebound usually happen, but you do not want to be taking position, not until we see the green Pentagon right now. So let's take a look where the market is. You can see we have sign of strength coming in. Which also broke down the 40-day moving average, which we did highlighted when the market turned red Pentagon here. So you can see one point it turned red here, turned up, but the sign of weakness, which is the UT upthrust the market further down. But we have 1, 2, 3 plus this morning a test. So you usually get a sign of strength first, and then you get a red pentagon in here, and that's why we are quite positive this market will rebound soon. But market is still heading up in stage 4, so there's definitely an attempt the market to rebound back, depending on the news of the US interest rate hike. If it does have a lower interest rate hike, as I said before, 25 basis point, the market may rebound back, but it still not very sure that it's still going to be moving in the uptrend, because pretty much you can see the railway track are still in the downtrend. There is not much of a bad news why this market is going down where originally it is, but what we have seen, foreign funds is down. Now this is the KLCI chart here, and you will notice the market has been down for many days, and that's why we were kind of positive that you will see some sort of rebound coming back very soon for this. So you can see almost 14 bars since then, the upthrust in here. So if you have shorted around 14, 18 and carry on pretty much a long position down in here, you would have made some money on the short side of it. 14 bar down, so rebound is very soon. And right now the KLCI had spring, but we haven't seen any on this future chart in here. So not until you see some sort of a spring or test like you've seen it over on this side here, then you're likely to see. But having said that, it's still pointing a lot on the downside, but rebound will happening soon in here. All right, so let's look at last week. Despite what we've seen, the market continue to come down. Some of the stocks of 24th of February. Now remember, we are looking for stocks that is above the 47 cents in here, especially on that basis. So we can see 23 cents, 27 cents. Usually these are just more of a dead cat bounce. Even MAA2 has made it up, but it's only 629 volume, so you don't want to be that. So you want to be focusing on the top 30 volume in here. But again, this one has shot up too much, 20%. UEM is 3% in here, but it's still below the 47 band. Only give us GHM system. So you can see GHM system pick it up at 95.5 at 936. It did stay sideways for a while, and then finally it picks up again, hit high of 97.5 cents despite the red pentagon. This is why we can say that you can always still pick up some of these stocks in here, but you need to be selective. Not all of them will make money in here, as I demonstrate in here, but at least you're still in the money for this stock here. So that's all the for the stock trade idea that we have. I'm going to show you this coming morning, and I'll probably come back to here. Next stock. So let's look at this morning, the stocks that we have. Again, we have TechScam. That one has gone up almost 8%, so that one's already shot up, so you don't want to be doing that one. Then GHL, it's the one that we just saw continue to make uptrend, so something is cooking in here. Does it tie back to revenue, which is revenue, Berhad and GHL system? These are the two companies tend to compete for the same type of trader in here. Now that the revenue has started to go down with a bad result in here, more people are piling their money into GHL system in. That's why the stock's going up. So the let me just go back again. So the idea behind the Pentagon stock trade idea is simply like that. Just go to the VSA 360 if you have not looked into that. Look for stock pick at about 47 cents. Good volume with 3 or 4%. Target with 8 to 10% maximum. But at this time, sometimes you just want to be doing the 5 or 6% in here, and you want to be able to quickly exit too, should the stocks not able to. Because remember, right, the market is still on the downtrend, and you don't need to trade if you don't need to. But let's look at the insider buying and selling, which does give us a very insider view. Just like what Peter Lynch has said, insider might sell their shares for a number of reasons, but if they buy, likely stocks will rise. And research have shown that insider able to make abnormal return following that. And of course, in our VSA 360, we have seen the insider buying. We have also call to buy and call to sell, call to hold by analysts, insider buying, and certain events, right? Like we have seen before, demonstrated way back in December, CY Park has started to make a very nice up move on that. And also Tuyo Tuyo Wen, also very similar too, up almost 58% in here. These are some of the examples that we had way back in December. Let's look at the insider and buying right now. Now, last week we did demo, right, that we seen a lot of insider buying, and then we did ask, will MYEG go higher or not? So let's take a look at the MYEG with our VSA 360 here, and so MYEG, so you can see how I would easily get that. So definitely you can see from our chart here, okay, the market has started to move up, and there's still a lot of buying, okay, so you can see a lot of buying in here. EPF is buying, and the owner, Asian Internet Holding, which is one of the biggest shareholders, I think, is still continuing to be buying, and that's why we saw what we see here. You can see, right, at that time market was still doing, and then finally green pentagon game. And so this is really a show of evidence, especially those of you who are beginner. You want to be side with the insider buying and not certainly one of the good. If you have any stocks that you want me to look in, feel free to pencil in there. I'm happy to look into it. Hi, for those of you coming. And now we have Jin Hin. So remember last week there were insider buying. You can see, right, market started to go down 350. Let's take a look at Jin Hin this right now. All right, so you can see from here, this is a no-brainer, and immediately when we saw that buying, right, we just have to wait for the charts to come out here. Right, you can see here, this was where the bars was down and more buying is actually here, and then the stocks started to go back up again. So this is why sometimes when stocks where you do buy them has very strong ownership, where you can see the owner, Dato Sri Chiao Beng Tek JP, and he's buying, so the stocks are holding up in here. Interesting, huh? So that's why you need it. And let's take a look at the Pelican, okay, which is today. All right, you can see Pelican, you got some buying started to push up here. There were two selling. Let's take a look at Pelican. Okay, if you have it, great. So Pelican, so the markets continue to go up in here. So let's take a look. All right, there were some selling, 2.5 million. This was 2.5 million. And there was some 2.5 billion buying. Okay, there were a bit of buying, 328k, 252k, 70k, but this also tells you a likelihood maybe this may be distributing at the higher prices in here. But we'll see whether there's any more buying around in here. But we need to have what we have seen just now, like Jin Hin, a lot of buying, and that where this market can sustain and then rebound back what we have seen so far. Okay. And that's a kind of a trend we are see. So next one is we saw Jin Hin here. I've just showed you in here can go high. Next one is Yinhe, which we demonstrated. Yinhe, let's take a look at Yinhe on the 24th, where we saw some buying. All right, we saw this kind of buying. It did make a push up, but eventually the market sort of moved in, still in a yellow trend zone, no green green zone here. There's not enormous buying, so low volume here, which is very good. So we want to see able to support at the 98 cents in here, and if it does go push up, this may be good. So this is what kind of business is it? This are agricultural business. Okay, agricultural business. We can also go and check out who we are. They are animal farm. Okay, they provide maybe medicine for the chickens and things like that. Yinhe, that's what Yinhe does, right? Interesting to see whether this is not. Let's take a look at another one. And HH Group. You can see HH Group has a lot of transfer. All right, so this will be quite interesting to see how next week they will perform. HH Group, Heng Huat. Okay, what do Heng Huat do? Industrial product 232. 48 out here component in here, very small. It's a sort of a mid-cap stocks here, but you can see there was definitely transfer. Chin Nam 37 million transfer out, and there was he bought it. So something got transferred over here. So I do think that there was some sort of base right now support here at 52 cents. Market started off from Let's go back a bit more here. Yep, there were a lot of buying around this area here. So if you're buying around this amount, I think there will probably be some sort of good support. There is some sort of big movement in here, share take up in here for Heng Huat. All right, so those are the stocks that sort of took my interest in here. Next week we're coming back to look at. Now, of course, the positive members has always been, we are starting out for our March 2023 for our orientations, which is on the 15th. So make sure you sign up for our VSA 360 and begin your trading journey with the VSA. We want to make you a good trader and investor where you're able to, and definitely one way you can join us is on the 20th and 24th will be one of the courses that will be done by our senior trainer Zach in here, and that's a number you can find out more. A relatively inexpensive course for you to pick up some of the ideas behind the VSA and also TradeVSA Pentagon Guide here. All right. So for those of you who haven't tried VSA 360, this is a free 10-day trial worth $266. So you can check it out in here, or you can just sign up for our 2-day short courses that we'll be doing on the 20th and 21st of March. Okay. And if you're ready, just sign up for our TradeVSA in here. And thank you for coming. We'd like to hear your feedback. So if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil in them. I'm happy to look at it right now in here. All right, if there's no stocks, thank you for coming in here. I'll see you again on Monday, a breakfast show with Smart Robie. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not, and also join our Telegram group, and also let your colleague and friends know about our free education in here. Thank you, and now have a good weekend.